Hey, what's good, champions? Arian Tyson here. Wanted to shoot this video because I want to share with you some of the worst feelings in the world. And maybe you or you know someone that can relate to this, because I'm starting to realize that times have really changed. Times have really changed. Things are not the way that they used to be. It seems like logic has gone out the window. And I know, because of conversations I've had, because of text messages I've received, because of messages that I've received, that I am not the only one who feels this way presently. But I want to share with you some things that I am starting to realize, and what is serving as a harsh reality in the days and the times that we live in. Now, I will preface it by saying that I salute anyone that is in love and that is willing to protect it, that is willing to fight for it, that is willing to work through it, understanding that you all are going to have disagreements, and that's okay to have disagreements. But as long as the respect is there, I salute those. And it's not many of them left. It's not many people that I know, not many couples I know that are still surviving. So I salute them. Having said all that, here's what I've discovered. And some of these, to be honest, actually apply to me and how I truly feel. And some of them do not apply to me whatsoever. So I want to be clear about that. I've discovered that just from observation and even through my own personal experiences, that the worst feeling in the world is when you feel like you cannot love, or it's impossible for you to love someone else because your heart is with the person who broke your heart. Now, I don't prescribe to that, because as someone who has had their heart broken, I believe that there is life after the pain. I believe that. I have always believed that. My heart has been broken on more than one occasion. So let's be clear about that. If I felt like it was impossible to love again, then a lot of relationships would not have happened after my heart was broken for the first time. So that's one thing. And then another thing I've discovered is that, and I've actually felt this recently, like the worst feeling that you could have is literally sitting next to a person who means a lot to you. And the reality is that you'll never mean anything to them. That in their mind, you mean nothing to them. And I have seen that happen on more than one occasion. And one thing about me is that when I'm invested into someone, I'm invested into someone. And I take it very seriously. I believe in them. I support them. But I'm here to tell you that it's not going to always be reciprocated. And I'm speaking from what I've observed, and I'm also speaking some of my truth. And it just comes with the territory, and you just got to be able to take it. And the thing is, Another thing that I would consider to be a worse feeling or a bad feeling is when someone intentionally breaks your heart after you accidentally fell in love with them. Like, and I've had a conversation with someone recently where that was disclosed to me, where you can play out stuff in your mind and you can think that you try to stop yourself from falling for someone, but you honestly end up falling for them. And then out of fear, you intentionally run away at the first chance you get. And that becomes very problematic because you rob yourself of your own blessing out of fear. And one thing I cannot respect is when someone is not even willing to try. And I'm coming to the conclusion that I question people that say they love someone forever, because life has taught me, unfortunately, that apparently nowadays forever has an expiration date. And it's amazing how people can say they love you forever, but I never knew that forever had an expiration date. See, if I say it, that's what that means. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just walk over me, because I've felt that before. But it does mean that you have a special place with me. That means if something bad happens to you, I'm not going to wish bad on you. If something happens to you, chances are I'm going to show up. I might not know what to say to you. I might have very few words to say to you, but sometimes your presence is just enough. Sometimes being there when people don't expect you to be there speaks volumes about you, speaks volumes about your character. And people nowadays are more worried about their popularity than they are their character. And I think out of everything that I said, I think the worst feeling in the world, and I'm about to wrap this up, is loving someone knowing that they'll never love you back. You could see yourself with someone and you feel like you know that you're an asset to them, and you see potential in them, you see greatness in them. But I'm here to tell you, it don't really mean anything if they're not willing to see the same thing in you. And I know I probably left some stuff out, but if you can think of anything that I left out that I did not touch on, feel free to leave me a comment. And I just wanted to give you something to think about today, because I have been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of meditating, really been off the grid purposely, because there is a heightened level of aggravation that I am experiencing right now, just being 120 with you. And we have to realize that even the greatest of us sometimes needs insight, sometimes needs help. Saying that you need help does not mean that you're less of a man or less of a woman. It actually makes you more, because you can't do everything by yourself, no matter the narrative that society tries to push on you. So if you got value from this video, feel free to share this video. Feel free to leave me a comment. As always, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.